Hello friend, welcome back to Seed and Sparrow Homestead, week 3 of the garden tour series. Before we get started on this week's garden tour, Matt's getting off work early today, so we're gonna jump in the truck with the kiddos. There's a sale going on somewhere nearby. We're gonna purchase some things for the homestead I'm super pumped about, so let's go do that first. Come along with us on the beautiful back roads of Pennsylvania country. We're in Amish country here in South Central Pennsylvania. It was a beautiful day, sunny skies, about 80 degrees. We had the windows down in the truck and we really enjoyed a nice country drive. So we have 2 places we're going to stop today, and I am in search of something that perhaps you may have guessed. I have been saying I want to add to our fruit production here in the homestead. So we're looking for fruit trees today. We didn't have room previously, but now since we have taken down that long row of arborvitae, we have a whole bunch of space to work with. So we're on the hunt for some fruit trees today, various kinds. The first stop was at this Amish greenhouse. He had a pretty big selection, but I was noticing a few things. There was a lot of yellowing leaves, some leaf curl on some of the trees, and quite a few of them had pretty intense bug damage. So I didn't love any of that. But I went through, I looked at all the prices, took some pictures to compare, because I knew that Smucker's was having a Memorial Day sale. They were having 30% off all of their fruit trees. So it made their prices comparable to this Amish stand. So just took a mental note. They did at this place have some grapevine, which I may go back and get. It was the best price I have found on a fairly mature vine. So $18 I didn't think was bad, and I'd like to add at least one more grapevine to the property. So we got back in the truck, drove some more country roads, and made our way to Smucker's. Smucker's has honestly become my home away from home. I could go there every day. You can see one of the reasons here. They have such an extensive selection of roses. I would just live in this section, smelling all the different kinds, observing their beauty. The second reason I love going to Smucker's is because they have the Brew Box, a coffee shop in the greenhouse. So the 4 of us grabbed some drinks, the kids got some cookies, and then we went to this section, which is what we were really here for, all of these fruit trees. We got the loot. Truck bed is loaded up with some fruit trees and some super petunias, which were on major sale, marked down from $6 to $2. And I also got some herbs, so I'll show you when we get home. Matt has a general announcement he'd like to make.
Everybody needs to learn how to drive manual. Superior to automatics.
Thank you for this insight. We made it back home. Trees are in one piece, although they had quite the windy ride. I didn't get much footage at Smucker's, because someone was helping me pick out all of the trees and taking the tags off for me, but we'll get them out and I'll show you what I got. And while he gets them all out and situated, we're just gonna plop them over there for now. We're not planning quite yet. I'll show you what I got down here. I got a flat of these super petunias, so they like explode and just grow huge. These were marked down. They were $6 a pot, down to $2 a pot. They're having a special this weekend. So I grabbed a flat of those. I'm gonna place up in that front bed with like the stones around it, just for some more color because it's looking so sad up there. But this is just another few things that I grabbed from Smucker's while I was there. My bone set is struggling, and they have bone set, so I picked up one of those. I picked up 2 additional comfrey plants here. I have that big comfrey by this apple tree, and I wanted to plant 2 more next to some of these fruit trees going in. And then I also got this bay leaf plant, and I got another rosemary. I love using rosemary in cooking, so I wanted some extra of that. And then I got this lavender. This one is specifically for culinary use. It is called La Diva Big Night. And it's drought tolerant, full sun. So I'm gonna give that a try. I wanted to make some like lavender cookies, maybe like lemon lavender bars. Thought that sounded yummy, so that's the extra stuff I got. So we ended up getting 6 fruit trees. Matt had to restrain me because I wanted to get more, take advantage of the sale, but we really wanted to bring these 6 home and just see how the spacing was going to work. So we got this one here. Can you see the little fruits? We got a peach tree. It is a Red Haven, and all the varieties I think are either dwarf or semi-dwarf. I know this is a dwarf peach, and it is a freestone peach, which I was looking for canning purposes. The cling peaches are much harder to get the pits out of, so we got one of those. Peaches are self-pollinating, so we only needed 1. And then we got 2 apple trees. This one is a Macintosh there, and he had a list of which varieties will pollinate against each other. So we had the Macintosh, and then this one here is a Pink Lady. So we got that one. That one's pretty tiny, but I think it was only $39. That's the smallest one. And then we got 2 pears. You need what am I trying to say? You need 2 varieties to pollinate each other. So the 2 I got a Bartlett and I got a Kefir. They pollinate well against each other. And then the last one we got is this big guy here. This is a plum tree, and they self-pollinate as well. So there's our little mini orchard. So we have these 6 trees plus our 5-way self-pollinating apple up there. We're gonna actually get to this week's tour now. That's all taken care of. It is golden hour and the garden is literally glowing. We'll start off to the side this week. The petunias are all blooming now finally. They've recovered from the slug damage. The cold weather crops up here are not loving that it's not cold. Quite a few of the spinach plants are going to seed, so it's turning the leaves really bitter. I haven't gotten much of a harvest off of these, so I might try and get some shade cloth, and I might try sowing some more seeds back here and just see how it does with the shade cloth, but I might just wait until fall for the spinach. The lettuce is looking so much better. I sprayed it down with some BT and some DE, so it's not getting eaten alive anymore. Still tasting pretty good. This section over here gets the most sun, so that's why that side is struggling a bit more. Cabbage is still doing well back here. I did plant some dill in here, but it's starting to go to seed, which always happens for me. So I might try and seed some dill inside to put out here as the season cools down. See if I can get a later harvest. Over on this side, we've got this mullein here. No flower yet, but I think soon. It's quite tall. That's like 3.5, 4 feet tall. And we have the green stalk here. Everything in there is looking pretty healthy. Everything's doing well. I need to remember to turn it every day. I haven't been doing a great job at that. A little side bed here. Nothing really new going on in there. All of the tomatoes, though, are really starting to put on some good growth. They're looking really healthy. Look at that glow on the garden. So pretty, and kids are enjoying a beautiful evening. Over here, all of the sage is blooming. These black punch snapdragons are just stunning. They just look like red velvet. So pretty. There's the pincushion. More sage. I got so much sage. And I have so much preserved, so I'm just gonna stay here. Up here, a few things are blooming. This is cat's pajamas. There, some cosmos in the back, and this flower, this rose, is called At Last. It's a Proven Winners rose. Really pretty bushing variety. And then this is some more salvia up here, starting to bud up. And this is coral bells. There's a view from the top of the property. I don't know if I've done one of these yet. Little overview. The peas up here have not grown at all, so I think they're a lost cause. We're definitely going to take out this arch here, put it somewhere else, and kind of just cut the garden off right there at that arch on over. Things just don't grow with that maple tree behind me. Potatoes are doing okay though, not too bad. Looking good there. These up here, because of the shade though, they haven't even started to flower yet. They're usually like a week or two behind all of the potatoes that are planted out in that garden. These peas are looking good here though. I haven't seen any flowers yet, but hopefully in the next week or two we'll see some flowers. Along the blueberry line, look at these guys. That's so fun. There's nothing like growing your own food, let me tell you. It's such a fun thing. These are looking good here too. There's so many on here. I'm overly excited about this because we've had these in the ground now 3 years. And that's a long time to wait for some fruit. But now hopefully each year we will have blueberries. Oh no! What a sad thing. We've lost a stem. Maybe I could save this. If I brought one of my bamboo stakes and then taped this, it might heal, so I'll try doing that. I'm not sure what happened there. It was a very lanky stem. I think I mentioned this row of raspberries here is the one that I did not mow down to the ground. So we're gonna have probably an early summer harvest. They're looking for bugs. Grant gets really excited. This is the purple royalty variety. I'm excited to see what those look like. That'll be the first year I'm getting fruit off of them. I planted these last spring. Took a little while to establish, but here you can see the Joan Jay raspberries are putting on fruit. So I like how that ended up. I have 3 rows of raspberries. I mowed down to the ground 2 of them just to kind of maintain them a bit. You get a bigger fall harvest that way, but I liked keeping this one here because then we do get at least some for fresh eating in the summer. Strawberries are coming in hot. You can see there's some there that are ready to be picked. I came out this morning and I picked 7.5 pounds in about 15 minutes. And now this evening I'm gonna have to come and pick a few more. They ripen so quickly sometimes and I have to make sure to beat all of the slugs to them. The hedge of raspberries is looking so healthy. Everything has just grown quite a bit. Here's the feverfew, mojito mint, chocolate mint. Not too happy in this pot. I need to fertilize this or replant it somewhere. Up here, banana mint's doing well, lemon balm, cayenne pepper, and then over here, look at this pineapple sage. It's really taking off. I'm gonna have to harvest a whole bunch of herbs soon. Lobelia, at least it's lived. I'm thankful that it's still alive. My first time growing a few of these medicinal herbs. The passion flower that I grew is starting to put on a little bit of growth, and the one that I got from the greenhouse is still looking good. So it actually hasn't been a full week since the last tour. I usually do it on a Saturday. Today is Friday, but we are butchering our chickens tomorrow, and I didn't want to have to rush to try and get a tour in tomorrow, so I'm going to do it tonight. But I can't believe how much these have grown in just 6 days. They've put on so many more leaves. They're looking really healthy. These are the currants. They have 2 different varieties here. More strawberries off to the back. The kids are moving everything because they're searching for bugs underneath. But here's the horehound, another tomato, more strawberries over there. And all of the elderberry, little buds have opened. I cannot with how lovely these are. You can harvest elderflowers. They have medicinal purposes too. Obviously, if you harvest the flowers, you're not going to get any berries, so it's a toss-up what you want more of. I don't have very many here, so it wouldn't be worth it for me to do that. I'm just going to wait for a few berries. So delicate and lovely. It's a sad situation up here. The garlic. I've lost some more. They have rotted. What's going on in here? Let's see. Tiny little bulb, but they're like completely rotted in the neck here. So yeah, not a good year for garlic for me. I'm hopeful that some of these will at least make it. They've started to put on their scapes, so I need to come and remove this. That way I get a bigger bulb. If you leave these on, all the energy goes to producing the seed or the flower. So you want to take these out. I don't think I'll have enough this year, enough garlic scapes to actually make anything with them. But I do want to come through and remove these. Some of them are starting to get pretty long, so we need to take them out of there, and hopefully we'll get a few bulbs. The beets are looking good down here though. They're loving this little enclosure of garlic. Over here, celery's coming along nicely. Got some weeds in this bed we need to take care of. And the gooseberry, it's putting on some good growth too. This has some gnarly spikes in there. I don't know if you can see them. Really gnarly spikes. You don't want to get in a fight with that. Let's go on to this space here. Is a quick overview of what everything's looking like. Sorry, the lighting is not the best this time of day. So those super petunias, the pink ones that I got, I'm gonna put them in here and on the other side, just for some pops of color. Something was eating all of my zinnias. I think they're gonna come back from it, but they had a hard start. The snapdragons are looking really tall and spindly. I had topped all of them, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't see any signs of buds forming. So I wanted to just put in some more color here, and the super petunias should just like provide some ground cover or suppress weeds too. So that's that. But let's take a look at this beauty. Come on. That's what my garden dreams are made of. Smells like heaven every time you walk by. Totally obsessed Give me them all. I always say to Matt and to my mom, one day, if the Lord ever gives us more land, that I just have, you know, the space to do it with, I would love to just have a dedicated, like, English rose garden. Oh my word, I'd love it so much. Just give me all the roses. Here's the no-dig area. We're gonna be harvesting some kale soon. Everything else is still slowly coming along. The blue scotch curled kale over here is looking really good, really healthy, so we need to start taking the outer leaves from that. I'll just be freeze drying that. We like to have it in soups over the fall and the winter. Something, I think slugs, I think this is slug damage, hurting these leaves here. Not necessarily eating them, but I think their slime trails are making the leaves burn. I put down some Sluggo, and it hasn't been raining constantly like it was the last few weeks. So I'm hopeful that they will recover. It doesn't seem to like be killing the entire plant. It's just a few of the leaves on each plant almost look sunburnt. And I think it's from their slime. But if you have more insight on that, please do let me know. But I do think it was a slug issue. Bean situation here. I had replanted these two spaces here, but if you will look, if you can see, like, here's an anthill, there's an anthill. I think they're eating these two seedlings. You can see, can you see all the little ants moving there? I saw, ooh, maybe it will pop up. There's a bean right there. I need to water that better. This one did come up and they ate the top already. So I guess it's war between me and the ants for these seedlings. Everything else came up though, just fine. Cabbages are looking good. No signs of cabbage moths yet. I do have the fabric off currently. I think it was honestly making it too moist in here. I noticed some of the leaves were like rotting, so I took it off for a little bit, but I'll put it back on in case I see any of the moths start to surface. But honestly, everything's looking good. The weeds haven't been too bad. I've been able to control them in this whole space here. I did see the Nigella, or Love in a Mist. It's blooming, such a delicate little thing. I love the greens though, very frilly, whimsical. I'm not really sure how big those plants will get. I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see. The sweet potatoes all recovered nicely. They're doing fine now. Tomatillos are still looking good. The peas that survived are all really thriving. You can see these are much taller than the ones up at the front of the property on that trellis up there. Still don't see, I don't think, any blooms. Ooh, here's some. See, it's a couple blooms. So soon here, in the next week or two, we'll get some baby pea pods. Potatoes are all looking good. We did just harvest in the last video from this rhubarb, but I think we'll get another small harvest off of them. Just a couple asparagus spears are coming up. Here's one. I can harvest this guy. Celery and the little itty bitty okras are doing well. Zucchini and cucumbers are doing well, put on some growth. I really need to come through here and water yet tonight. ground is looking dry. It's crazy how it can go from everything is just sapping wet to everything is bone dry, and I have to water like at least once a day. Here are the shallots, all looking pretty good. And the carrots, be proud of me, I actually came through and I thinned them all really well. And the ones I thinned had beautiful, nice long roots. So I am hopeful we're gonna get a good carrot harvest this year. Matt and I just took notice. We have the beginnings of blackberries. First time getting blackberries on these canes. And the new plugs that went in are looking good. Putting on some new growth. Probably won't get anything from them this year. It'll be next year. Petunias are looking good. I totally forgot that I had planted this. I don't even remember what it is. Burgess buttercup squash in here. It's liking it in that location. Let's go over here. Look, it's happening. Just starting to open up. The generous gardener here, my big 3-year rose. It's already probably, let me step back a bit more. Got a chair behind me. So this is a 16-foot cattle panel, and it has probably, I don't know, maybe another 5 feet to go from there down. So that's a lot of growth in 3 years, and my goodness, beautiful pink blooms up there. Can't wait for all of those buds up top to open up. With this space. There's Lady of Shalott. Just started opening all these up. It happened overnight. I came out and I gasped. So beautiful. We got that one. The salvia is still blooming here. The white bleeding hearts still going strong. And we have, I showed in the last video, I even have supports under this, and there's just so many blooms on this one stem here. It just cannot hold all of this beauty up. But really pretty peonies here. You can see this one a bit better. We've got all of this volunteer calendula here. Something that I try to do in this space, not everything is going to bloom all summer long, but they seem to come in waves. And I knew I wanted to do that, but I didn't actually do that intentionally, so I'm happy it worked out that way. So we've got like the roses, they'll bloom all summer long, but they come in waves. So they put on their first flush in like May, end of May, go a little bit through June, and then you don't get anything, maybe a bloom or two here and there. And then towards the end of summer, they have another flush. The black-eyed Susan are gonna start probably mid-June, popping off all of their color. The chamomile here is going to start blossoming soon, and this stuff goes crazy. It gets really big. Delphinium are gonna start blooming probably in the next week or so. And then the copper plume back there, that'll send up some spikes soon. Lots of volunteer calendula going on back here. Hollyhock and more foxglove. So the hollyhock, I started them from seed. There's one there. I have them all throughout here. I chose varieties that will bloom on the first year, so I'm hopeful that those are still going to do something this year. The foxglove I started from seed, I'm not sure that that's going to send anything up yet this year. they will come back really strong next year for me and probably flower next year. This foxglove was one that I planted last year, and it is just a stunner. The speedwell is blooming there, and I just noticed the tea rose back here. I used to have this up towards the front of the cottage garden, and I successfully transplanted this one. This one did not die on me, and it's blooming right now. These perfect little rosettes here. The comfrey here is completely fallen over. It looks a disaster. I need to come through and harvest that anyways. But everything else is just pretty much so much growth so quickly. The butterfly bush should be sending out flowers here soon. Same with the milkweed and the echinacea. There's some more delphinium back there. And the yarrow, probably in the next week or two, that'll start flowering as well. So everything is just kind of coming in waves, which is really nice. So it's not just, you know, a blank green slate really at all. There's always a pop of color somewhere, which I love. Like I said, we're gonna do some harvesting soon of some herbs. So we need to get these chives and the chive flowers put to use. These foxglove looking lovely. The columbine is still going strong back there. And Olivia Rose is just doing her thing. Like, hello. Blooms galore. So beautiful. I'm so afraid to move this one and have it die on me. But I don't know that I love its location. Hey, excuse me, sir. That one wasn't ready. Anyways, I lost my train of thought there. It's just blocking so much. It's beautiful. I mean, I'm okay with just staring at this, but let me know your thoughts. Should I move it? Should I leave it there? Do I want to risk moving it? Because like I said, I had tried to transplant Princess Alexandria of Kent back there, and that one died within it was just instant. It didn't even try to survive. Oh, dilemmas. Look at that stream of sunlight. Isn't that heavenly? Oh my goodness. Okay, here is another peony. It's on its way out, and it was the only bloom from this plant, but now we know that's this beautiful magenta color. And then over here we just have some more hollyhock and foxglove and delphinium and liatris and baptisia, which is done for the year. The sweet potatoes back here are looking good, not looking so sad anymore. And then back here, the new rose I just planted, the Bathsheba, it just started to open up. So the trees and the whole fence situation real quick. You can see Matt put in some T-posts just marking where we're going to be drilling the holes for the actual posts. So Matt's boss, super kind of him, he is letting us borrow the skid loader from him again with a post hole digger. So today's Friday. Sunday, Matt and one of his co-workers they're gonna start digging those holes, and then Matt and I are gonna be the ones setting the posts with the concrete, and then Matt is building the fence kind of from scratch. We were going to get the prefabricated panels, but it's just, I think it cost $600 less to just do them on our own, and then we have a little bit more freedom with stepping them because our property is not perfectly flat. So hopefully within the next few weeks we're gonna see the fence project completed, and then once that is in, I am going to start landscaping, dreaming a little bit. We're gonna do a really deep flower bed. That's where the trees are gonna go. And I'm thinking I'm going to dig up the blueberry bushes probably at the end of the season or once they have put off all of their fruit. And I'm gonna put them in between the trees. I might wait until fall to do that. I don't want to damage them in like their life cycle. And then my plan is to just kind of make a little bit of a food forest off to the side. Some more edibles, some more herbs, some flowers, maybe some more roses. That's me we're talking about. So that is the plan in the coming weeks. Get this fence in and start landscaping. We're also gonna plant some grass, and then I don't think we're gonna do anything else with that area this year, but I have like all of this grass here, quite a big section, and we are personally of the belief, Matt and I are in agreement, that there's really not a whole lot of purpose for grass. We like having some for the kids to kind of play in, but we don't need all of this to be grass. So we might make this into some more growing space. And we have some other plans too for this area, but that is where we are at now. Okay, the last thing I'll show you is the tomatoes here. I think in next week's video, we're gonna prune these guys and get them attached to the trellis. So some of them are starting to fall on over. They're almost ready to be pruned. I wanted to make sure they had enough new growth before I start removing things from them. But I did just notice some of my nasturtium is blooming. Isn't that lovely? Okay, friend, that's all I have for you. I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for coming along for a little tree shopping excursion and seeing what's going on in the garden, week 3. I will see you next time. You have a blessed week. Take care.